This is Private Investigator William Zariski. I'm going to be discussing the corruption of the education system, so stay tuned. Okay, it is January 28th, 2011. I am Private Investigator William Zariski. Oh, I've got a lot to say about this one. Well, let's get started. The education system has been corrupted since they took prayer out of school in 1962. Since then, the SAT scores have dropped significantly. Sexually transmitted diseases and teen pregnancies have increased. Violent crimes and drugs have increased. You can mark the date when all these things started to happen. How ignorant people have become in America today. They can pray twice at Obama's inauguration. By the way, he's a Muslim. But not once do they want our kids praying in school. The courts make you swear on the Holy Bible, but they don't want our kids praying in school? Now, I understand certain states will allow a period of silence for about a minute or two for meditation. Well, that sounds like a bunch of New Age hoo-ah to me, and that's what they want. Well, they wonder why they're having these problems in schools across America. Remember Columbine and other shootings just like that? Well, let's first discuss the internal corruption of these schools, and then I'll be talking about the parents' role in this. You know, whether it's public or private school, the system is still corrupt. You've got the embezzlement from these officials in the school and the corrupt laws that govern them. But let's consider the purpose. What is this telling our children? They're forced by law to go to school, but let's take a look at the big picture here. They're being conditioned. You know, they want them to be doctors and lawyers and politicians. Why? It's all about making money. And if they don't do that, they're a blemish on society. They're forced to take tests and have all this pressure to do well, causing them, stress and anxiety. I know school's changed a lot since I was a kid. Some of the homework has too. My son's in the 6th grade, and stuff that he was doing then I was doing in the 9th grade. This is getting out of control. They're conditioning them younger, keeping them so busy, keeping them in fear, so that they won't see through their system. These schools today are becoming like prisons, like concentration camps. And most of them have a school resource officer. Well, it's really just a policeman there. They've got cameras everywhere. Let's think about this, folks. They're told when to go to the next class. They're told when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, what they can, what they can't wear, when to speak. Do you understand just how controlled these schools are? Now they're telling the kids to spy on their parents and report certain things to school officials. And if the kids draw pictures of guns, it's a trip to the guidance counselor's office for evaluation. What if their dad's a policeman or in the service? And by the way, you can see my study on the truth about police and military. Just look at my previous podcast. And it's not just the schools, folks. This is the new world order. There's cameras in your digital cable boxes, GPS capabilities in your phone, your cars, every street corner that seems there's a camera. It's going to be like Great Britain. Look at them. They got no gun rights and they got millions of cameras everywhere. Now we've got fusion centers here trying to acquire information on everyone, you and me. And most people here in America are just going along with this. They refuse to believe. And when it's right in front of them, they can't even see it. This is America, and we still have our First and Second Amendment. I'm telling you, they're trying to abolish our rights. I mean, look what's happening. All right, not so long ago, there was a student wearing a 9/11 shirt. I think it was 9/11 was an inside job. And for the school yearbook picture, they blacked it out. They photoshopped it out of there. You folks can look this stuff up. There's story after story. And now they're conducting terrorist training? You think I'm kidding? Let's take a look. I've got a clip here that I want to play for you, an audio clip by Alex Jones on his show. Let's see what he has to say about this.
They show up at elementary schools. They blow up a bus, set it on fire in front of everybody. They've done this in Belton, too. I caught them up there. I had troops, U.S. Army, walk over and say, turn your cameras off with Marines. That's in Road to Tyranny in 2000. That's when we shot the footage that's in Road to Tyranny. And they get the children out. They don't know what's going on. They throw fake blood on them. They tell them, you're going to die. And the police scream, I'm a militia. I don't like public school. I'm a militia. I don't like you not liking my Second Amendment. I'm going to kill you. For life, those children are going to hate guns. They're going to hate the Second Amendment. They're going to hate militias. And the name of the terror group they have in Michigan, they do this all over the country, that attacks the children, is Homeschoolers Against Public Education. Now the police play the part to demonize homeschoolers. And they run around screaming, throwing fake blood on children, blowing things up in the parking lot. They have the little kids come out. All of a sudden, vehicles jump up, men in uniforms jump out screaming, we're militias, we're against public schools, we're homeschoolers, we're going to kill you. And the children just go into catatonic freakouts. I mean, this is in the news. This is hardcore re-education camp. I mean, this is what they do in re-education camps. But see, now they're turning all of America into a re-education camp. It's a re-education camp thousands of times, from California to New York to Florida to Texas, where they say, we're giving you $100 gift certificates if you come turn in your guns. And it's always an old grandpa whose daughter, he's going to the nursing home, because they've polled the women. It's always 80% women out there, and they're handing in $5,000 carved shotguns made in England. They're handing in, having no idea how much money they could have made just alone, to the police. And some people bring in old cheap guns and get the $100 gift certificate. And then the image is put on the news of illegal guns being turned in, and it creates the image, the acclamation of seeing everybody turning their guns in. And then the police always get caught, or not all. I've seen thousands of cases in the news over the 15 years I've been studying, 13 years on air, where you always hear about cops selling. I've seen this. I mean, there's thousands of cases of cops selling guns that were seized, or guns.
Okay. That's Alex Jones, and I'm not saying that he's a Christian, but I'm going to tell you, folks, he's doing a lot more than what these so-called born-again Christians are doing. If you're a Christian, you have rights, just like every other red-blooded American, to stand up for these things that are wrong, to reprove the evil that's going on today. I'm really glad that he's doing this. It's unbelievable. Well, do you hear what he's saying? Well, let's talk about the parents' role in this now. Most parents are just going along with whatever the school says. Okay, oh, that's what you say. Okay, little Johnny needs this. They're putting him on medications, and they're doing all these tests and studies on him, sending them to counselors for unnecessary counseling on him. They're not even questioning, is this right? And some of these kids are acting like spoiled brats and bullies. They're getting away with everything and picking on other kids. It's how you raise your kids, folks. And I'm not saying that all parents are like this. You see these 12-year-old girls walking around with Coach purses, and the boys walking around with their underwear hanging out. I think that's called sagging. But, wake up, parent. Your child needs you. You got to raise your child. Your child doesn't raise you. It's a sad day in America. It's the way they behave is the way that you bring them up. Don't leave it up to the schools. Okay, well, let's close in Luke 17, verse 2. It were better for him that a millstone were hung around his neck and cast into the sea than he that should offend one of the little ones. Now, millstone was a large, heavy stone, a heavy slab. So, I didn't say it, Jesus did. So it's time, folks. Let's realize what's going on around us. I'm not saying we're going to rise up and stop all of this, but we got to be aware. And it starts at home. It starts with standing up for our rights. Until next time, I'm Private Investigator William Zarisky. God bless.